Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Miracle Mindset. I have a very special, very handsome guest. I've only announced Alex as a handsome guest, but here you are. We have Gabriel Zamora in the house. Thank you
Hi everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
So you may recognize him as a content creator, a YouTuber, and he's also an incredibly talented makeup artist. So thank you for sitting down with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
We'll just say the last time we saw each other was in Texas.
Yes.
And we actually we did a trip with Patron. And they did a tequila tasting.
Like way too early sometimes.
9 a.m. At 9 a.m., which I've never heard of, but I'm not mad at it. It was fun. And I just look up and I hear go, oh no. And I was like, wait, there's an Australian here. I look up and it's him. And he's pretty good.
Oh no. Okay, I cannot do an Australian accent except for the word no. Every time I try to do an Australian accent, it turns British. And then I'm like, I didn't even know I could do British, but that's great. But just nar. N-A-U-R, nar.
Yeah, you just put an R on the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my favorite word. Oh, nar. Oh, nar.
Cleo.
Clear, Emma. Like, I wish I was Australian sometimes. That would be fun.
I mean, look, Australians are the best, that's for sure. I'm just gonna say it, like, I'm not even gonna be humble about it. Australian people are just the best type of people.
I mean, you're talking to an American, so like, I don't know about that.
Okay, that's true. I don't date any Brazilian.
America's very like, everybody wants to be us.
Yeah, that's true.
That's literally America in this world. It's like, everybody wants to be American. And then you go outside of the world and they're like, nobody does.
Well, look, thank you so much for sitting down with us today. I start my podcast by asking my guests, what is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Men
What?
are trash.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. I think the best piece of advice. No, I think my favorite piece of advice, and I always have to practice it, even any friend, regardless of what kind of status they're ever in, whether it be on social media, whether it be financially, whether it be like in this world, everybody falls susceptible to like listening to others about themselves. And we kind of redirect our lives and we get scared or we don't do things. Stop listening to other people, please. Like, stop listening to them. Yes, there's gonna be like devil's advocates that are like, but what if like you're being bad and you have to be good? And it's like, shut up, nobody's talking about that. We're talking about the people.
What were they like?
Like, shut up.
Wait, the voice is so good.
Like, stop. I always hear the voices. But like, I'm talking about the people that are like me, and maybe not everybody's like this, but especially because of social media, like you sometimes let little opinions or ideas and you have to find the balance. Yes, sometimes people are giving you good constructive criticism and good advice and they want the best for you. Or maybe it's just like, oh, like I liked your hair better when it was longer. Okay,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But just know when to accept that kind of opinion and when not to, because strangers on the street will have an opinion on anything and anybody. And if somebody on the street can tell you, hey, I don't like your outfit, and you can tell them, I don't care, hold that same energy with everything else.
That's good. You know, so many times, like, and I've even caught myself, like, and I did a YouTube video about this very recently. I put on a lot of weight, nearly 25 pounds, and people were coming for me.
Really?
Like, coming hard, and it made me feel like really like insecure. I was looking in the mirror, I was doubting myself. But exactly like you said, you just have to own it and you have to be confident in yourself and know what you stand for and what your values are and know, have those blinders on and know what to take in and who to take it in from.
Yeah.
And then what to just say, like, I'm sorry, but like, I wouldn't take advice from you because you
Yeah.
have no idea.
Like sometimes it's not like, okay, like I get work done, so I get like filler and I get all these things. And I don't care about what people say because they do it for me. But like at one point people were like, oh, like all his filler, like he looks swollen, he got way too much filler. And I'm like, I didn't even get filler recently. Like, what are you guys talking about? And then I'm like, oh, it's because I've been eating a lot of salt and not working out. So I look puffy. Oh. So like you have to understand
look,
sometimes.
I have that problem.
Yeah. So it wasn't like that my filler looked bad because they look amazing. But it was because I just was getting puffy that people were like, hey, like you look different. So like I could have like let it ruin my life and gotten everything dissolved. But it was like, no, it's just Gabriel. Like you're eating a lot of hot Cheetos.
And jade roll.
And fast food, yes. And
jade
like,
roll.
Yeah, like little guaisha.
Geisha?
What is the thing?
A geisha?
A guaisha?
Something. Okay.
I don't know. It's like that thing. Guasha. Yeah, guasha. Oh, that's amazing. I don't use it as often, but
it's good. I just said like I relate to that. I get really puffy because I'm a savory person. Like,
same. Salt.
I'm salt.
More than sugar.
I'm like, why did I get I'm like salt.
Oh my God, I love anything like salty.
Yeah.
Like it's so good.
And I get bloated because I love that.
Yeah.
And obviously it makes you retain more water. So
every morning I'm puffy. Like just my face is puffy, and I have a roller you could get from Amazon. It was like honestly like $10.
Ice roller?
Yeah, there's like it comes with a metal one and then one that has water in it. So it's like
I'm gonna link it below because this thing is like a game changer.
And it's everything. You just do it for like 5 minutes in the morning if you're like wanting to go to a meeting or like an interview or like something that you're like, oh my God, I'm puffy, I need to de-bloat.
Yeah.
Wonders.
Yeah, I always get puffy beneath my eyes, so that's like where I'm like my eyes kind of look like beady because I'm like small.
Mine are always like that, so.
So exactly like you said, like taking in the right opinions, and that leads us on to the next point. You have been on social media for a really long time. And obviously with social media, the good comes with the bad and controversy. And we were just having a conversation before the cameras came on about cancel culture. And I mean, you've had a fair experience with drama and cancel culture before. So I would love to kind of get your opinion on that. I mean, my audience isn't a huge beauty audience. I wish I was doing more beauty. That's definitely somewhere I want to go. So comment if you want me to get him back to do a makeup tutorial with me, please.
Are we Robbi to do more beauty products and more like beauty stuff? Because like your makeup looks so pretty right now.
Thank you.
Like I'm sure somebody's out there is like, wait, I just want to know the steps. Like which ones did you use? I mean, and it's about that. It's just like showing them like what works for me.
Will you do a beauty video with me? Wait, really?
I'm down.
Okay.
Like we could get ready next to each other.
I get ready with me.
Like you do yours, I do mine, and we kind of have like a similar approach.
Yeah,
we'll look at a makeup look, and we both try to
like get
recreate
it. No, you're not about to pull me up next to a professional makeup artist.
Because we like the approach of it. Be like, okay, this is like a beauty influencer approach, and this is a lifestyle influencer approach to it.
Okay, that could be really fun. All right, comment below what look you want us to do, and we're gonna do try to do some type of look. Emphasis on try for me. He's very, 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 very talented. So. Back to the question. You are no stranger to having that controversy before. So I would love for you to share a little bit more about that, and also your thoughts on cancel culture, because it's huge, and it's something that I think most influencers, celebrities, politicians, people in a place in the public eye have a fear of. So I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
As a reformed problematic influencer. I wasn't that bad, okay? People were like, you're problematic. I'm just very opinionated, okay? And I am very vocal about my opinions, as to where some people was like, don't put that on the internet. I go straight to the internet.
Wait, do you have a Twitter?
Yes, absolutely.
You love how often are you tweeting?
I love Twitter.
How often are you tweeting?
I don't tweet as much, but I'm always on Twitter. If I need to know what's going on in the world, I go on Twitter because it would be trending. Okay. I'm like, why should I be talking about this person? Then you go see everybody's tweeting. You get to like get in time opinions and like
as it's happening.
Yes.
Okay. So I love that reformed problematic influencer.
Yeah,
I've
so
never heard that.
Problematic.
But it shows me how mature you are that you can say that.
Yeah, because I can acknowledge that I was in kind of scandals and things like that. Maybe not because I started it, but because I had opinions on it that I was like kind of dragged into it. But I was in like, if you follow beauty, then you understand Dramageddon 1. So I was in that. There was only like 4 or 5 people involved. It was a big show on the internet, but we all learned and we all grew from it. But for me, like that was my first taste on quote unquote cancel culture. Mm-hmm. And when you first experience it, it's rough. I will say that. When you get a lot of people on the internet like coming at you and that's your feed, it's hard to like just not see that. So that's why like they always say like don't get on your phone, don't get on the internet, like don't. So I understood that because it's a lot. It kind of messes with your mind a little bit. But the thing about cancel culture, and I do agree that we've taken it just a little bit too far, but I think there still needs to be a conversation about accountability. So not always is it about canceling a person. To cancel somebody means that person has to willingly go away. Nobody's just gonna go away. Like, oh yeah, I was mean to somebody. Let me just go away and stop all my income. Like, no influencer, no public figure, no politician. Like, it's not just influencers, it's politicians, all these people. It's about
accountability.
Yes, accountability, calling them out and understanding, like I said earlier, understand what the conversation is coming at you. Yeah. So some people are gonna be mad at you. Some people are gonna be like, some people send death threats. you know, like those are things that you unfortunately have to like go past to find out what is the conversation that these people want me to understand from them. And there's a lot of influencers, politicians, celebrities that are like, oh, like F that, I'm not gonna listen to them. I'm gonna be me, I'm gonna do me. Like y'all just wanna like that. And it's not always like that. It's just, hey, we don't agree with this. We hope that you can understand as to why we're voicing our opinion, because cancel culture comes from the court of public opinion. It's not a legal court. You're not going to like a judge, you're not filing paperwork. This is court of public opinion. Everybody has an opinion on the internet, which I love that people can voice their opinion, but with that comes a double-edged sword. They can also critique people. So it's not always about canceling people, but Cardi B just won a lawsuit against a YouTuber. So that is a different story. This is a YouTuber who was willingly lying and creating malicious rumors about Cardi B, like saying she has a certain disease down there that you can't like get rid of.
Wait, I didn't hear this.
Yes, and Cardi B's like, no I don't. Goes to the doctor, gets tested, and the doctor and the judge tells the YouTuber, hey, you should probably settle because the results are in, she doesn't have anything. And you've been saying that you know. So now,
how did I miss this? See, this is what I missed I missed like the YouTube. Like,
I'm so nosy. I'm so nosy. I love like pop culture, media. Like this is my obsession, and understanding what kind of precedent this was going to send. Cardi B was awarded $4 million from this YouTuber. So now it's like, and the thing is, she wasn't like having a conversation about Cardi B and some of the things that she says or some of the things that she does. She was maliciously lying on the internet about Cardi B. And under oath, like when she was being like questioned,
probably this one
she said, "Oh, that's for views. I did it for views." Everybody would, and she tried to blame it on Cardi B. She's like, if Cardi B had never said anything about my video, it wouldn't have gotten views. So it's like, what? Cardi B said, "No, I don't," and then it got views, and she justified.
But to be fair, that is like a total definition of clout chasing. Like you're using someone else's name and the position to get views on your video.
Yeah, and it's full defamation. Like, you can't just lie about people. So I like that it's now setting a precedent of you can have a conversation about people, but you can't lie and willingly lie about people.
That's really interesting what you said, accountability culture rather than cancel culture, because I actually haven't heard that before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think a lot of people just automatically think it's either death penalty or get away for free. Like it's not that. I think it's like a good in between of like, okay, what kind of severity does this warrant of conversation? And there's some people that will still not care. And that's okay, because it then goes back to the power of the people. Just like this country, everybody has a vote. Everybody matters. It's the same with social media. You can choose not to support somebody, whether it be an influencer, a celebrity, a politician, anybody. Your support matters. And if you are willingly not supporting them, with more people understanding that in large numbers that really like hit somebody, I think people will start to understand what kind of power we really have as individuals and as a collective.
Wow. Just drop the mic. We're done. We're done here. Men are trash and drop the mic.
Men are trash.
You're done. Wow. Okay. So if you want more of his content, as you can see, he's very well worded. He also has a podcast. It's called Blunt Talk, and I would love to get into that. So you have some awesome guests. You've had over 30 episodes, which is a huge amount for a podcast. Congrats, by the way. That's big. How do you know what it is that you want to talk about on your podcast? Like, what does that look like?
I think for me, it's very give and take with what me and my audience are willing to talk about. There's some things that I just want to talk about to where I'm like, hey, I'm gonna put this in, but I think it's always been about give and take with my audience. They get a big say on as to what I should be talking about sometimes. Like, hey, can you talk about this? And they'll send me those messages and they're like, hey, like, what about this? What about that? And I love that, because I'm like, ooh, okay, like this is what my audience wants to talk about. But sometimes they don't bring up certain things, and it doesn't mean that they don't want to talk about it, even though I want to talk about it. So sometimes it's like politics. A lot of my audience, either likes it or hates it. It's very like this or that, and they're very torn sometimes. They're like, hey, can you not talk about politics? Some of them are like, hey, we love that you talk about politics. So I can either like shut up or keep going, but it's that subject for me is for me. So I'm like, I want to talk about this as somebody who comes from 2 immigrant parents from Mexico. They fought for me to be able to have a voice and to be able to be a citizen here. So now they're citizens, and I'm the oldest of 4, so I'm like the oldest. I'm like the kind of like leader of that. I help my family understand it. So if I can help them understand it, I tell my audience things. And it's not always about politics. Sometimes it's about makeup. It's about skincare. It's about just everyday life, living in LA, traveling. It's about what can I share with my audience so that not only does it entertain them, but hopefully it like helps them learn something.
So one of the things I love most about you is your confidence. You are, and you know, you called yourself like, I don't know what you said, reform problematic, but I mean, to own that, you have to be confident. Like that's an incredible amount of confidence. And you know, even the way you're on camera, speaking all of the time, you're so confident, and I love that. So have you got any tips for anyone at home who's watching this, who is like maybe struggling with their confidence and owning exactly who they are? Like, how do they step into that side of themselves and, you know, genuinely become more confident?
The thing that you have to understand about confidence is it is not genetics. You don't grow, like you're not born being confident. Like it is something that you are taught. So knowing that you can actually learn it.
It's a skill.
It's a skill. So just like being able to cook a certain meal, like there's like a formula to it. So you always hear these like kind of iconic quotes. I think we all have seen this on TikTok of Rihanna. It's like, how do you like,
I fake
she's
it.
like, I fake it. I just fake it. Like, what do I want to do? Be crying at home? Wake up with puffy eyes? No, I just fake it. I have faked it so many times. You just have to remember that you have to continuously fake it, because sometimes you forget and you're like, you get real sad. But you have to continuously. So if you can teach yourself, and once you like, for me, it was about, okay, I'm just gonna fake it. Like that's how I really started with my confidence. I just faked it. I was like, I'm just gonna pretend to be confident, and I'm just gonna tell myself that I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. And eventually you start to believe it. So then that's when you really get to explore, why am I the best?
Are you an extrovert?
Kind of. I'm a very like extroverted introvert.
That's me. I definitely like that too.
I rarely leave my home. I'm always home. Like I do well with people, but I need to like recharge.
That's what I do. I need to recharge by myself.
Yes.
Like I'll go
I
out
can't
for a
do
few
too
hours,
many hours.
come home for 10 hours by myself. Like I need that.
Yes, like I need my alone time. Like, but with confidence, you just have to. One thing, calm your breathing. I think people get really scared and their breathing gives you like anxiety. So if you're going into a setting, calm your breathing. I do the 5-5-5 rule, which
What's
is
that? Breathe
in for 5, hold for 5, and exhale for 5. And do that 5 times. It calms the heck out of your breathing. I was like, ooh, this is brand friendly, let me not ask her. It calms the heck out of your breathing. But yeah, like calm your breathing, calm your mind, be aware of who you are. And that's a very strong statement to make, because a lot of people aren't. People don't have conversations with themselves. I met so many people that are like, you talk to yourself? And I'm like, yeah. Who does it? Like, I have to be able to understand myself. I have these conversations. How are you feeling, Gabriel? What do you like? What don't you like? What do you want to work on? Like, how do you become a better you? And in those conversations, you really start to find out like, wow, like I'm a great people person. I'm a great listener. So you go into these settings with a list of things that you like about yourself. And that to me gives me confidence of like, okay, maybe I'm not the best dressed, or I don't have the best hair. I do have the best eyebrows, but maybe I don't have the best purse. But what I do go into knowing is that I'm an amazing person, and I've worked on myself to be the best that I can be. And if you can say that to yourself, can nobody like bring you down?
Yeah. I love that. So you are huge in the, the beauty kind of lifestyle space on YouTube, and obviously on Instagram as well. So what advice have you got for anybody who's wanting to enter that space?
Advice number 1, you have to be 100% sure that this is what you want, with the good and the bad. You've seen it online, you see people talk about their mental health, you see people like, you have to be willing to say, I want this, and I'm self-aware in knowing that I can work past certain obstacles, whether it be by myself or with the people around me that I've curated, loved ones, friends, family. If you can say like, I really want to do this, like I can take this on, I can take on this challenge. It's like a marathon. Not everybody can run 20 miles, bike 30, and like swim. Like not everybody can do it, but some people are like, I can do it.
I can do it.
Yeah, so some people are like, I can do it. I'm ready for that. Like I'm trained. Once you get there, the second one I would say is probably like, what do you want to do? Like, what is it that you want to give to the world?
What's your message?
Yeah, because everybody wants to be an influencer. I think that's the #1 career that like children in high school, middle school, and even elementary are saying that they want to do when they grow up. It's no longer like doctor, actor, like singer. It's now influencer. Everybody wants to do it, absolutely, and everybody can. Like there's an internet, everybody has a phone, absolutely. But what do you want to give to the world? Like what kind of conversation do you want to have? Because if everybody's talking, what sets your conversation apart?
Yeah.
So if you can have a clear kind of like idea, maybe it's like, hey, I get anxiety and I want to talk about that, or hey, I want to talk about cooking. Hey, I know how to knit these things. Like if you have like an idea as to what you want to do it. And then third is just understand what kind of content you want to create. Like if you want to create content like Robbi, and Robbi's one of your like inspirations, you're like, I want to be lifestyle. I want to be like posting like really cute like outfits. Like I love Robbi for that. She's like, oh, I'm gonna show you what you can wear on New Year's Eve. I'm gonna give you 5 options, and like, ooh, look how good. Like she's gonna give you the options. So if you're like, oh, I want to do that, like I have clothes in my thing. Pick 5 people who you can inspire you, because at the end of the day, plagiarism is still plagiarism. Okay, so do not copy people, because if you set your standard of that's who I want to be, you will never be them. You will never be them, and you're setting yourself up for a loss of like, if that's the gold standard and you're not that, you will never be them. So you're gonna lose every single time. Yeah. And they're always gonna change. So if you can't be you, you're gonna lose at this game.
Thank you so much for sitting down with us today. This was actually so much fun. I feel really inspired. I feel like I just want to go create. And I'm just so honored to have you here. So thank you so much for sitting down with us. If you guys want to check him out, I'm gonna link it below as always. Be safe, guys, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Rob.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.